What?
We're back with another edition of Does It Bite? I'm Stephanie here with Michael. How's it going?
Doing good. How about you?
Good. Okay, we're going to talk about something we've not ever talked about before.
Okay.
A little bit of a tongue twister. Common pet pests.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So we talk a lot about biting and non-biting, bugs and animals that are harmful to our family, but we need to remember that those furry friends of ours are family too.
Yes, they
for
are.
so much of us. So our dogs and our cats need to be protected as well.
Exactly.
And so there's some common pests that we always think about, fleas and ticks. And so let's just kind of start with that. What do you see in Lubbock, Amarillo, eastern New Mexico? What kind of infestations do we have that could be harmful to our pests?
Oh, yeah, definitely. We have seen an uprising in flea and tick activity here in this area. And that's because we're also having an uprising in wild animal infestation here.
Are we really?
So we have seen where we have a family call and they're like, well, we never had fleas, we never had ticks, but all of a sudden we have them. And we go out to do an inspection to see what's going on, and there's a family of foxes living underneath the patio.
Yes.
So we're having fleas and ticks being introduced to an area that haven't been there before. So our furry friends are now having to deal with the repercussions of that. So that's why pest control is so important, even for our family friends who are our dogs and cats.
Yeah.
Because if we don't take care of them like we take care of our humans, then they're going to have to deal with a lot more stuff than we have to.
Yeah.
So fleas and ticks are really starting to blow up in this area just because of the wild animal movement.
I had never thought about that before.
Yeah.
So, how can they be harmful more than itching?
Yeah.
The dog or the cat. Why do you want to treat for that for your animals?
Yeah. So those are vectors.
Okay.
Remind
us what a vector is.
Any insect.
Okay.
That can transmit a disease.
Okay.
So fleas and ticks are both vectors.
Okay.
They can transmit diseases in both cats and dogs. They can also do parasites. And those are, worms and different things like that. The bubonic plague can come from fleas, different things like that. So it's very important to take care of your furry little animals in your house because you don't want them to go through such a
So if they
painful
have
thing.
fleas and they're outside animals, are we susceptible to that as well?
Oh yeah. Like I said, like the bubonic plague.
Yeah.
We found those on prairie dogs in the Michoud area maybe 2 or 3 years ago.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, so those are fleas, and those same fleas can jump on your pets. The pets can come into the house, and then that vector can be onto you. The movement of the transmission of the disease is amazing.
Wow.
So if you could break the chain,
Right.
keep your pets protected, they won't have any chance of coming into your home.
Okay.
So with fleas and ticks, especially ticks, this one scares me because I love a good steak. I love steaks.
I'm really afraid about what you're going to share, but keep
I love
going.
steaks. Well, the Lone Star tick is a tick that we do have in West Texas, eastern New Mexico. And if that tick was to feed on you, was to bite you, it can transmit a parasite into your system to where you now become allergic to beef products.
I have never heard this.
Yes. So that's one thing that I'm really careful when we're doing flea and tick jobs, that I am protected. I am doing whatever I can not to get those things on me, because if I don't eat a steak and I can't eat a steak,
it's going to be a sad, sad day.
I'm moving. I'm moving. I can't live in Texas and not eat steak. I'm moving. If you enjoyed this episode of Does It Bite, please remember to like and subscribe.
Ticks, I always think of Lyme's disease.
Right, that too. Yeah.
Is that pretty common still?
Yeah, it's still a thing. When you have the bite and then it looks like a bullseye on your skin, that's a pretty good indication that you have contracted Lyme disease.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
Yeah.
So fleas and ticks, everybody knows about them, and that they are irritating, but they can be harmful. So how do you treat for that? And when does somebody need to call you instead of trying to self-treat?
Yeah, the most important thing is to have your pets treated.
Okay.
To have your pets treated. That's the most important thing, because we could come in, we could treat your yard, we could treat your house, but if your pets aren't treated, as they go outside, they might encounter the dog next door. The fleas and ticks can jump through the slats in the fence, jump onto your animal, and we have the same problem.
Yeah.
So the most important thing is to have your animals treated. That's
Gotcha.
the most important thing.
Gotcha.
When we go out there to do a treatment, that's the first thing we're going to ask.
Yeah.
Is your animal being treated?
Right.
Is it through the drops? Is it through a collar? Is it through a pill? Is it through something? We have you have your animals treated.
Gotcha.
Once we get that figured out, and it is, then we could come in and we could do treatment on the yard. We could do some barrier treatments. We could do some coverage treatments. We will talk to you about maybe your neighbor has a whole
That's
bunch
what
of
I was gonna
dogs
ask.
that they're not taken care of. Different things like that. Is your yard cut? Is it maintained? Because
makes a difference.
yeah, because ticks like to climb up to the highest points in the grass to jump on their next host. So there's a lot of things that go into it. So when your technician comes out there, he's going to ask you all this stuff.
Gotcha.
So just be prepared to answer all those, and just be prepared to change some stuff up.
Yeah.
Because we're going to come out there, we're going to identify, hey, your grass is really tall, you have a lot of weeds, or your neighbors have dogs and they're not getting treated. Maybe we need to put some lime dust around your yard, something like that to help protect your family and your friends.
So this was really interesting to me. I always think about pests. There's that tricky tongue
Yeah.
twister again.
Yeah.
Cockroaches can also be harmful to pests if they ingest them.
Right. So cockroaches are gross.
Yeah.
Okay, they feed on anything and everything, right? So they're gonna feed on grease, bacteria, poop, different things like that. So they're picking up all these parasites as they're going to and fro for wherever they're going, and your pet eats it.
Oh gosh.
So not only did he just eat the cockroach, he ate the parasites that are on the cockroach. So those parasites can get into their system and they could do some major damage to your
Wow.
pets. Yeah.
Wow. So I know that without making this a cockroach episode, real quickly, how do you know that if you've got a cockroach problem?
Yeah.
Is that a whole?
Yeah.
Did I open a can of
Different
cockroaches?
episode. Yeah, that's a whole different episode.
But
So,
if you're seeing cockroaches, or
Yeah.
you know that the pet is having some issues.
yeah, especially if you see them around your pet's bowl,
Okay.
your dog dish, the water dish. That's where a lot of roaches were going to be, because they'll eat that stuff as well.
Okay.
Especially water, because cockroaches have to have water to stay moist, or they'll
I
dry
didn't
up
even
and die.
know that.
Yeah. So they
Huh.
have to
That's
have
why
moisture.
you see them in the bathroom a lot.
Exactly.
All right, fire ants. They're here. They're in West Texas. They're in the
Yes.
Panhandle.
Yes.
They're not just living in the deep South anymore.
Right. The imported fire ant. The imported fire ant, and the great thing about what we do here at Bug Tech,
Yeah.
we try to stay on top of our training. So we just had a major fire ant training for me and my guys, and we learned that imported fire ants were brought into the United States, kind of spread along the Gulf Coast, and then now it's spreading north. Fire ants are not the big red ants that people
Right.
would think. Those are harvester ants, carpenter ants,
And they
big
hurt,
red ants.
but
yeah.
they're not fire ants.
Right. Fire ants they build their mounds in the ground,
Okay.
like an ant, or sometimes underground. What happens is sometimes when they're building and the colony gets bigger and bigger, it can kind of come up out of the grass where it just looks like a dirt mound. And if you ever go and kick one of those things, I mean, the chaos that happens with thousands of ants
And
start
they are
going crazy.
fast.
They are very fast, and they are very dangerous to our furry friends.
Okay.
Because if an fire ant colony is disturbed, they will do everything they can to protect that colony.
Wow.
And their bites hurt. They do have a venom. it can really injure your pet or
Yeah.
possibly even kill your pet.
Yeah, especially because dogs and cats have allergies too, like
Yeah.
humans. So
Yeah.
it could be deadly.
Yeah, so imported fire ants are very, very dangerous too.
So keeping those at bay and being aware.
Yeah,
Because the
yeah.
dog will step right into it and never know.
Never know it. They never know it. That's right.
And then mosquitoes. We've
Yeah.
talked a lot about mosquitoes and how irritating they are in backyard barbecues, but I never thought of mosquitoes being an issue for my dog or my cat.
Oh yeah, I mean that's how we get a lot of heartworms.
Really?
In dogs and stuff is through mosquito transmission.
Okay.
So yeah, mosquitoes are a problem for pests just like they are for us. They can vector just like fleas and ticks do. So you definitely want to make sure that you take care of our furry animals. But when you take care of yourself, you're taking
Yeah.
care of them too.
They're part
you
of the
want,
family,
yeah,
right?
Yeah, you want to make sure that you spray. Make sure the mosquitoes are gone. So they can have a good life just like you are.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah, definitely.
Thank you, Michael. So, pests can be a problem. So
That's
be
right.
proactive and call Bug Tech.
That was
I didn't
good.
have a last P. That was right off the cuff.
Yeah, that was good. I couldn't have done that. I could've
Yeah,
done that.
because they do bite,
That's
and
right.
and that's a problem.
That's
so,
it. That's
thank
it.
you for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.
If you enjoyed this episode, check out More Does It Bite?